what's up guys? I will be doing a part 2 to my Manchester United review that I was doing yesterday. The first one that I did, the first part yesterday kind of ended a little bit abruptly as I accidentally turned my phone off, and that ended the recording. So, there will be another part coming out to that later on this afternoon, probably. So I wanted to do a video today talking about something that, talking about something I was talking about the other day, you will know that I posted a couple of videos talking about this, talking about my issues, what my real issue is, with not just the Inhams, but a large majority of these family vloggers in general. And as I said, my issue with them is like they're happy to put their hits out there online, on the internet, whatever. But they're not really stopping to think about who might actually be watching their videos and what that person's intentions might be. Because any one of the people that is watching their videos could in fact be a creep or a predator with very, very bad intentions. And sometimes they need to stop and think about that. But the issue is, none of them really do. None of them really ever do stop to think about things like that. It feels like a lot of these family vloggers, if they knew that even if they knew that they were creeps and predators watching videos of their hits every day, they wouldn't have an issue with that. And they wouldn't think there was anything wrong with that. Like that, I'm not being funny, but that's the impression that I get. The impression that I get from them is, one, oh, well, we wouldn't have, there were child predators and creeps watching videos about his every day, we wouldn't have an issue with that, we wouldn't think there was anything wrong with that. They're not exactly proving anyone wrong on that. That's exactly what they, it feels like that's exactly what they're showing. Is that they wouldn't care about things like that, because I don't think I think the sad thing is, I don't think any of them even would care, even if they knew that there were creeps and child predators watching videos of their hits every day. They'd still continue putting their hits out there online. That wouldn't stop them from putting their hits out there online or make them think twice about doing that. Which, obviously, I think a lot of people, a lot of decent people, if they were putting their hits out there online and they knew that creeps and child predators were seeing videos of their hits, or, watching videos of their hits every day, they would take their hits off the internet if they knew that, is what I would do anyway. It's just, it's one of the things that I have a go at the Inhams for a lot. And it's one thing that I've been having to go at them for quite a bit recently on both YouTube and in their comment sections on both YouTube and on TikTok. I've been laying into them about the fact that they give you about this whole business, and I have said that they do give the impression, and I've laid it on the plate. I have said that Chris and Sarah do give the impression that even if they knew that there were creeps and child predators watching videos of their hits every day, they wouldn't necessarily have an issue with that. They wouldn't necessarily see anything wrong with that. And I'm sure they would say, oh, well, we would have an issue with that. We wouldn't see, they would obviously want to deny that. But, they're not, at the end of the day, they're kind of proving my point, pretty much, in the majority of the time. It's like, and as I've said before, it's like they can't say, it's not like they can retaliate and say, oh, well, there's not creeps and child predators watching videos about hits every day, because they don't know that for definite. And I'm sure that a lot of people will be jumping on me and saying, well, or jumping on me for saying this, and saying, well, how do you know for definite that there is creeps and child predators are watching videos of these hits every day? I'm not saying that there definitely is, but I'm saying there's a very good chance that it could be creeps and child predators watching videos of these hits. So I certainly think there is a good chance of that. But that's not something that would worry, these parents. That's not something that they obviously don't care about that. So you can see that. That much is very, very clear. They basically don't care about that at all. What most of them are basically doing is they're basically sticking their middle fingers up and saying, we don't give a fuck about our kids' safety. We don't give a fuck about, we don't give a fuck about protecting and safeguarding our kids. We don't give a fuck about the fact that it could be child predators and creeps watching videos of our kids every day. We don't have a problem with that. We don't have an issue with that. We're absolutely fine with that. That's what most of them are saying. That's the impression that I'm getting from most of them, is that they would not have an issue at all with creeps and child predators watching videos of their kids. And it's an impression that I really, really do get from Chris and Sarah. That is an impression that I have gotten from them for a very long time. This isn't just an impression that I've started getting from them. This is an impression that I've gotten from them for a very long time. And it's about time that someone started calling them out for this. I did post a comment on it was on both of their TikTok, on both of their recent TikTok videos, basically asking how they would feel, how they as parents would feel if they knew that child predators were watching videos, child predators and creeps were watching videos of their kids every day. I don't think they can blame someone for asking them that. I don't think they can, I don't think, it's not a question that they should take offence to. It's not, that me asking that question, it wasn't me trying to cause offence or anything like that. I would just love to know, genuinely love to know, how they would feel if they knew that, how they would feel if they knew that there were creeps and child predators watching videos of their kids. But as I said, what they're showing and what the impression that I'm getting that they're giving off, or the vibe that they're giving off, is one of, well, we wouldn't have an issue with that. We wouldn't care about. We wouldn't think there was anything wrong with that. And I'd love to see them dispute that. I'd love to see them dispute, what I said about them not caring about child creeps and child predators watching videos of their kids. But they're not gonna dispute that. They're not gonna say, oh well, yada yada yada. They're happy to address other things, but they don't want to talk about things like this that probably should be talked about. That's a question, how they would feel about child predators and creeps, if they knew that creeps and child predators were watching videos of their kids. That is a question that they should answer. And it's a question that I would love to see them answer, because, it is about time that someone answered, that someone kind of did ask them that question and said, well, how would you feel about this? How would you feel if you knew this, if you know what I mean? It's just a ridiculous situation. I can't be less negative about this, because, it's hard for me not to say things. It's hard for me not to retaliate, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to ignore this anymore. I'm not going to, not say things like this because people, because it will offend people or it will upset someone. Because as I said, someone had to make that point. Someone had to say this. Someone had to say, well, what's going on here? Question what the hell is going on here. Because you can see, this is something that so many family vloggers, that so many family vloggers these days aren't really stopping to think about. Obviously, it's more the younger kids that will be a target, for creeps and child predators. It's not really, like the older kids, because I don't feel like the older kids get targeted so much by Christian child predators. I think it's more the younger kids that the Christian child predators are looking at. And again, this is what family vloggers need to think about, you know. I mean, yeah, I still, you know, very against, you know, kids of a certain age being filmed, you know, due to their ability to assent to things like that in general, you know, and I'm still, you know, I still am very against that. I still have a massive problem with that, you know. I still don't think it's fair that kids of a certain age should have to put up with being filmed when they can't properly consent to that. But recently, I feel like, and obviously, and admittedly, I have had to push that issue to, you know, to one side because I've addressed that issue enough. You know, I don't need to keep addressing that issue in particular because I've addressed it enough. But I wanted to address this issue because it's something that many people need to be saying. You know, am I really that out of order for for wanting them out over this, and for questioning them over how they would, I really want for questioning them on how they would feel if they knew that there were groups of child predators watching videos of their kids. Because it's about time someone questioned them on that. It's about time someone said, asked them that question about how they would feel if they knew that there were creeps and child predators watching videos of their kids. I mean, also turn around and say, oh, well, I know what their answer to that question would be if they did answer it. It would be one of, well, we wouldn't put our kids out there if we knew that. Also, don't say that, but that's not the impression that they give. The impression that they're giving me, is one of, well, we wouldn't have a problem with child predators and who's watching videos about kids. And it's not just the Yinams that are at fault, in this situation, that are in the wrong. It's not just them that are in the wrong in this situation. So many other family vloggers are responsible for that, and not stopping to think about things like that. That's the impression that I'm getting, from a lot of these family vloggers. It's not just one of them that I get that impression of. I get that impression of from a lot of these, family vloggers and things like that. They're happy to put their kids out there online. They don't have a problem with the fact that there could be child predators and creeps watching videos of their kids every day. They don't think they don't have an issue with that. They won't see anything, they don't see anything wrong in that, if you know what I mean. I think it's about time that someone really spoke about this and really addressed this. Because I feel like people don't speak about things like this enough. Yeah, it's good that people are talking about child exploitation, and are raising awareness to that. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying that people should be raising awareness to that, but they should also be raising awareness to things like this. They should also, as things like this are just as important, as the whole child exploitation thing. In fact, maybe it's slightly more important than the whole child exploitation thing. It has to be said. This ain't me trying to be negative. This is just me looking at things the way they need to be looked at. And thinking about the things that these family vloggers should be thinking about. And obviously none of them are. And this is what the major issue is here. None of them are actually really thinking about the things that they need to be thinking about. They don't stop to think about the fact that, this is the thing, right? They're putting their kids out there online every day. They're not stopping to think about the fact that it would be child predators and creeps watching videos of their kids every day. And I don't think and as I said, I doubt they would even have an issue with that anyway. Why would they care if there were groups of child predators watching videos of their kids every day? They wouldn't have an issue with that. You can tell from a mile off that they wouldn't have an issue with that. You could tell that they wouldn't think there was anything wrong with that. that is the vibe I get from them. That is the impression that they're giving me. Is they wouldn't care about that. They wouldn't have any issue with that. They wouldn't think there was anything wrong with that. And so that's an impression I get from so many of these family vlogging channels in this day. These days. This is something that none of these family vloggers are actually stopping to think about, and it's something they do need to stop and think about. The sooner they stop and start thinking about things like this, the better. Because it's something they really desperately need to think about. And it's just, this isn't me trying to be horrible. This is not me trying to be nasty or spiteful or anything like that. This is just me saying that there are certain things that these family vloggers need to be thinking about that they're not really thinking about. And this is one of those things. As I said, none of them can actually retaliate and say, well, we don't know, we know there's no child predators and keep watching videos about kids every day. Because they don't know that. And this is what the problem is here. They don't know that there isn't any hoops and child predators watching videos of their kids. Let's look at the facts, right? The Inhams, for example, they get over 20,000 views per day, if they're lucky. That's over 20,000 people watching their vlogs. Any one of those 20,000 plus people that are watching their vlogs every day would in fact be a creep or a child predator with very, very bad intentions. That's no word of a lie. It's one of those people watching the vlogs would indeed be a child predator or a creep with very with very bad intentions. Someone had to say this. I'm not trying to put that. I'm not trying to put that feeling of fear in people, but I'm just saying what needs to be addressed. I'm just saying that this is what these family vloggers need to think about. Is that any one of the people that are watching their vlogs would in fact be a child predator and a creep with very bad intentions. It's sad. That people are not thinking about things like this. It's sad that these parents don't care about things like this. And this is why, it gets to me that people are willing to defend them so much, is because of things like this. They're defending these parents every single day, but it's the parents who are basically selling their hoops and predators online every single day. That's the thing. How can people defend them over that? It doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, I am angry. I'm angry at the fact that these family vloggers are showing they don't care. I'm angry about how little these family vloggers care about the fact that hoops and child predators watching videos of their kids every single day. Because maybe they need to start showing that they actually care a little bit about that. Because I know exactly none of them are exactly careful about what they share online, are they? Let's face it. If they cared about things like this, they wouldn't be filming it, hitting swimwear and sharing that on a public social media platform. Making it hits a target for hoops and predators online. I'm sorry, I had to say that because it's true. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna apologise for saying something that is basically true. As everything I've said in this video is true. And I'm happy, and I am perfectly happy to say things like this because they need to be said. Fuck everything else. This is the most important thing. This is what people need to be thinking. These idiots, these family vloggers need to be thinking about. But they don't stop to think about things like this, do they? But they don't care about things like this anyway. So why would they stop to think about things like this? Because they don't care about it anyway. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I thought that I would do a video talking about this. I wanted to do this video and I felt it needed to be done. So I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you for another one very soon. Bye bye.